Hello everyone, this is Gorax with another Abbyssolossus video. This time around we're gonna cover shadow teams. Now, before you start watching this video, it's a reminder that I'm actually testing my own teams first because the boss is released tomorrow and I'm a competitive person, so I want to get the best scores. So this is not going to be a free-to-play friendly video. The free-to-play friendly videos will follow after I conclude my own testing, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and look forward to those videos. Sadly, the boss has just been released today, couple hours before it's been released on global, so we didn't have much time to prepare, but there we go. Let's go over the teams that are prepared and the amount of damage they can deal. So we're gonna start with the shadow team that has Ozul and Daphne. So the duo that is really good on the Continental Challenge bosses. Sadly, it's not as good here. The team was only able to do 56 million damage. We're also trying a kind of different approach here. We're using Megan and we're using Fia here. If you put in Gladros, this team will do a little bit better. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna use this artifact, Shadow Spawn. I don't own the Ozul exclusive artifact, but this artifact is on par with the Ozul exclusive. Daphne with Ravatrix Root, Taldi with Witch's Remain. He's got a really big upkeep on this Witch's Remain here. As you can see, I'm trying Rhapsodist equipment here, but I'll tell you right now that aerial set is just better on Ozul. I've tried both of them, especially with the second team that I'm gonna cover. Megan with Horn to give us extra damage, and we got Fia with Dalpine Organ to boost everyone's attack. We're utilizing Fia mostly for the debuff immunity here. The timings are not that important. We could go with the timing here and make it a little bit different. We can do this buff prohibition here and hope that the boss will take the invisibility off instead of debuff immunity, or we could bait the boss and do this at 17 seconds and then this at 23.5, so we avoid the healing reduction and etc. But since this works well, that's what we're gonna do. 56 million, not ideal, but it is not too bad. This is the placement. The only thing that is quite annoying, we need to manually cast Ozul's ultimate first time, so he stays in that spot because he tends to move over there. Now, obviously, going forward, these teams will be better because I had more experience trying these teams against this boss. And the second team is already a huge improvement. It's 95 million. So few changes here. We boot Fia, we boot Daphne because Daphne was dying. Daphne is an issue because when she jumps onto Ozul, she misses all the heals. So when she comes out and the boss does damage, then she's basically taking that damage and then jumping back on and never getting healed. So that was the issue with Daphne, and by removing Daphne from the team, I boosted the damage to 95 million. This is full auto, by the way, so if you could play Daphne manually, you'll probably do better. But this is the equipment for this team. We're still utilizing Megan, although we're not benefiting from her battle skill, but she's basically baiting the boss to remove the defense and grant us basically avoid the buff prohibition on the boss. Gladros to provide shield with debuff immunity, and we brought in Zarlo for aura as well as damage and extra healing. So this is the timings here. As you can see, 17 seconds on our Megan to either dispel defense up or recovery, and by this way we are avoiding debuff immunity, so that will allow us to put a shield with debuff immunity, preventing the healing reduction and shield prohibition on the boss, which is quite good. Zarlov auto casting whenever extra healing, extra damage, and Zarlov is second source of the damage, but Ozul is still the main source of the damage here, and the team is doing 95 million damage. Just go over the equipment again, very similar to the previous team. Then we move on to another approach that I thought about is Utur, so replacing Megan with Utur, and the team can survive 8 minutes. It's doing really well. Just the damage is lower because we're not using the horn, which obviously means we deal reduced damage. And this is the equipment here with skill timings, basically similar fashion there. We want to have debuff immunity and use this defense up, so that gets removed. The last team, well, the next team is with Estella. So as you can see, I'm trying to find the best supports, because that's the issue with Lightning Necro, supports lacking. We could bring in Nathaniel here, but we also need to think about our Lightning team, and Nathaniel will do better there. So in here we brought in a lot of healing, but we don't have 2 debuffs. We only have 1, buff. So only 1 debuff immunity. So it doesn't work that well when it comes to the survival. And Taldi might end up dying eventually, but the team is able to do 90 million damage, which is still good. And as you can see, this is pretty simple timing. This time around, we have Horn on Estella, as this will give us a lot of different stacks, and the team is doing quite well, easy to survive. Then we move on to Asphalta's team. So if you don't have Ozul, you can try Asphalta, but the damage will be lower. Similar to Rook, the damage will be basically more than half. 46 million damage with this team, utilizing the same equipment here. Changing the Rhapsodist to the Ariel will grant you another 5-10 million, depending on RNG, obviously. And skill timings, again, just Gladros with debuff immunity at 17 seconds. So that's the team that was doing 46 million. Now we're gonna degrade the damage dealers. We're gonna go for Cheater, following the same pattern of equipment. Again, Ariel will do a little bit better, but I saved with Rhapsodist. And skill timings, the same pattern here. The team can end up dying within the last minute, especially Taldi. He's really squishy. So that's the thing, but still 36 million damage for those of you who don't have any options. But I will also try salmon teams later on, and we'll see how they perform. And then we have a team with Sifla, a rare shadow hero, utilizing the same equipment. As you can see, this is the only change, because I believe those 3 supports plus Megan here instead of Estella work really, really well. Obviously, I didn't test Taurin. If you have Taurin, that will be even easier for you. And the timings are very similar. And the team is doing surprisingly 40 million, which is more than with Cheater. So this is my take on the shadow teams. Obviously, during tomorrow and the day after, we'll come up with new strategies, because we'll have more time to test things. But this is just a glance for you to see how these teams perform, so you can decide if you either run Shadow or you run Salmon. And I'll follow up with Salmon video eventually once I finish all the teams that I'm thinking about building myself. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please click the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. As always, thank you for watching. Stay safe. Bye.